Good day, guys. Welcome back to Liberty Tech Web Dev. And today I will explain what an HTML attribute is. So what is an HTML attribute? An HTML attribute provides additional information about HTML element. And this attribute, for instance, we have a Ptag with a text. Let me just put some text inside. So let's sail in the browser so that you guys can understand what an attribute is all about. So this attribute, it always comes with a name and a value. For instance, now I have an attribute style to be equals to, then what value am I going to give? So I want to give a color value of red. So if you see that text, you notice that it has changed to red here. So what is an attribute here? The style. That is it. The style is an attribute. Sorry. So another thing again is we have for instance an A tag, that is an anchor tag. Now the attribute here is the href, that is the reference. So in between here I can put visit my website, and I'm just going to put the link to my website here. For instance, let's just put https facebook.com. Yeah. So let's save that. You can see here, and once you offer, like you move your mouse over it, you notice the link below the screen at the bottom here, somewhere here. You notice that website is showing there, you see. So if you click, you can see it's taking us to where? To facebook.com, but because there is no internet access, okay, let me just as you can see, it's taking us to Facebook. So that is another thing entirely which I need to explain to you guys. This A tag means an anchor tag, and it means if you are redirecting from your website to another page, or from your within the same server. Actually, if it is on the same server, so it means you are redirecting from one page to another. But if it is just an external, so definitely for this one we are redirecting to where? To Facebook, so which is not within the domain of our website. So we are actually going to another website, which is facebook.com. So this anchor tag allow you to just do something like that. So if you click on it, for instance, again, you see it's taking us to facebook.com. So and another attribute again I'm going to make mention of is the target. Now this target has 3 values, even more than 3 self. But the first one I'm going to explain for the sake of the attributes I'm explaining is just the blank. So this means you want to, now if you notice something earlier, if I click on facebook.com, it's still within the same tab, it's not opening another tab for me. So what if I make it a blank, and I click on it, you can see it's opening, which means our page is there and it's still opening Facebook the other side. So that's the essence of using a blank, a target to be blank. And there's another one, parents. So as you can see, it's not going anywhere, it's still within. So that is an attribute. That is what an attribute is. So another thing I'm going to explain for the sake of attribute is image. Now let me quickly get an image here. So let me just get this. Okay. Now this is the image in download here. That is the image, and our projects folder is here on the desktop, my website. So which means I need to copy that image from where it is here. Just copy from here, then paste it in my project directory. Once you paste it, you will notice the picture is showing inside our Visual Studio now, as you can see here. But let me do something by renaming that image. So let me just give it a short name, img1. Then I save that. Once you rename it, we change tool in Visual Studio, as you can see here. So the image tag, how does it work? Now, what's an image tag is img. That is it. Now we have two attributes here. The src, that is the source of that image. Then the auth, that is alternative text. Now you can use an image tag in many ways, but I'm going to explain just two ways of using image tag. The first way of using image tag is if that image is within your domain, is within the server file. That is, for instance, now this image I want to use now is within my project directory. So that is the first way of using image. The second way is if, for instance, now I don't want to download this picture now and I still want to make use of it in my website. So that is another way of using image. So let me just, all what you need to do is the name of the folder, the name of the image rather. So, and how are you going to get that? You need to specify the name, that is image1. Then one thing you must take note of is the file extension, that is what is at the back. After that dot, you see .jpeg. So you need to take note of that. So .jpeg. Once I save my work and I go to my browser, you can see that image here. Okay? Now what if I mistakenly omit the extension instead of that and I put this? You can see the image is no longer there again. So which means you must take note of the extension. If it is png, then you must specify png here too. So just to make the file extension to be correct. So let me just return this. Now the source, like I said, is an attribute. The auth is an attribute, right? So this auth, it means an alternative text of an image. Now how are you going to say, let me just put something inside our alternative text, flower image, like that. Now as you can see in our browser, I didn't see anything like flower image. That means I could still load that image. That means the image is still coming up. So if there is any problem on the image, maybe there is poor network connection or the file was deleted from your server, so definitely we will get the alternative text. Now what I'm going to do is, let me just remove the e again and save. As you can see here, you see the flower image. Now if I remove this, and I save again, you see I got nothing. So it's always ideal to put an alternative text. So if the image is broken, like it's failing to load, so you get the alternative text from it. So let me just return that. So which means if the image loads, you won't see the alternative text. So that is the first way of using the image tag. The second way of using it, okay, let me just do something. In case if you are having a folder named image. So and inside that image, we now move this to image. So which means the image is no longer in right directory with in the same directory with index.html. So which means it's inside image before we get that file. So how are you going to get that? That is how you need to understand what a file directory is. What's the first thing we need to get to before we get to that image? The first thing we need to pass through is the image folder. Then after that, you put a /, then our image. Even Visual Studio is very nice. It predicts the directory for you. So only what you need is just to tap enter. If it is more than one picture, then you can just navigate through those pictures and select the one you want. So once you save again, your image comes back to show up. Now another way of loading image, I'm explaining an attribute. So I'm just branching so to explain those things too. So another way to load image is, let me use this one as an example. For instance, I don't want to overload my website with downloading images and uploading it on my server. So the best way to do it is just right click on that image, then you just copy link address, as you can see here. But if you copy link address and you are working on an offline folder like this, online projects like this, definitely you must have an internet connection, internet access. So all you need to do is just paste that link you copied in between the source attributes here. Then you save your work. Once you save it and you go back to your website, you should get that image. So why is it not coming up? Okay, it's still not coming. Why? Sorry, I copied link address instead of image address. Sorry. So let me just paste the link again. So let's check the browser. As you can see, now I want you to notice something now. Note something now. Now if I use the image on my server, notice something. Instantly I save, the image comes up. I don't know if you noticed that. Once I save, the image comes up. Now notice this one now, because I'm getting it from another I'm getting it from somewhere else. So it needs data to load from that place. So it takes time than loading from the same domain or the same folder. So if I save on this, you can see actually that is because the browser cache is already, let me just clear the last 24 hours. Okay, so if I just do something by images, then this, I save this, you see I got it instantly. So let me get rid of this one and paste the link again. You can see it takes time before it's load. Can you notice that? So that is what I want to explain. That is, image in the same directory is easier to load than you getting the link from somewhere else. Actually, getting link from somewhere else reduce the load of on your website. So another thing is, what I want to explain here again is the attribute height. The attribute height. Now this height allows you to specify a certain amount of height to that image. So if I want, I think the image is too large, so the height is too tall, or the height is high, so I need to reduce it. So let me just set the value to be 20. As you can see, that image is now tiny, as you can see here. So let me just increase that height to 50, or let me make it 100 instead. So if I save, you get that. Now, one thing I want you to know is that it is possible for you to resize not only the height, you can as well set the width attribute. This width attribute allows you to set the value of the width of the image. So for instance, if I set 100, the same value as the height, you can see that image is somehow is squeezed together, like it's not looking nice the way it was before. So the ideology behind that is, if you are resizing the height, then it is ideal for you to leave the width empty, or you set it to auto. That is, each time you resize your height, it automatically resizes it along with the width, so it's not going to destroy your image. And if it is the width you want to set, you can just leave the height blank, or you set the height to auto, then you set your width. These two are also an HTML attribute. These are also an HTML attribute. Now the same thing I did using these attributes. Now this same thing, this height, width, and everything like this. There is still another way of doing it. Instead of using two attributes, width and height, you can as well set an attribute of style attribute. Then inside this style, I need to set my width to be 100, comma, then my height, then my width to be maybe auto. So once I save that, I still get the same thing, but the thing is larger than the first one. So let me just set this one to maybe 50. So if I save, why is the error coming up? Okay, let me check something. Okay, now I think the mistake here is not supposed to be a comma, it's supposed to be a semicolon. So that is how it works. So if I save now, you get that. So it has also squeezed the image. So let me just set this to auto instead. So let me just set it to auto and save again. And what if I remove this pixel? So you can see. So you can actually play around with the settings. So that is that about the style attribute for the image. So another thing again is, okay, I've explained the alt, the style. Then we have the lang attribute, and this lang attribute is always within here. Lang so this specify that the language for this website is English, so with the en, and you can also specify it to be ENUS, so it means United States as the country. So that is that. Then the other thing is the title attribute. So for instance, I have my Ptag, and I I have there is something in there in it. Let me just make it like that. So this title, you can use it to set the title attribute to be equals to anything you wish, just maybe paragraph 1 or anything. So it's not going to affect your code, and it's not going to show up in your code. So that is that about the title attribute. So I think that is all for the attributes. Actually, this is not all, but at least next time if you see an attribute, you should be able to recognize what it is. That is, there's going to be an equal sign and a double quote. For instance, now this one, now the class sorry, is also an attribute. Another one is the ID. The ID is also an attribute. So that is how to know what an attribute is. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.